All right, well, welcome back to another edition of Story Time. And one of the questions that I get asked all the time is, why do I hate tambourines? Why do I absolutely loathe tambourines? Well, first of all, let me go ahead and say this. I don't hate tambourines. I have a heavy dislike for tambourines. And I'm going to tell you why, okay? And if you've been around our church very long, you know that usually for Christmas, somebody will always gift me with a tambourine, and I love it every single time. It always makes my day. And people will tell stories and all the different things because they know that as a pastor, I can't stand tambourines, but they don't know why. Well, I'm going to give you two reasons why I don't like them, okay? Here we go. Here's the reason. Number one is, when I was a young teenager, my dad pastored a church in Phoenix City, Alabama. And there was a great man by the name of David Turner. And he was wonderful, and he was awesome, and he played the tambourine. And he was actually really good at it. I mean, he could keep the rhythm really well, and he was amazing, and he thought it was a wonderful addition to his worship because he was a self-professed tone-deaf person. He said, I can't sing, I know I can't sing, but I can do this. And so he would just play that tambourine. He was good at it. Well, at the same time, I was learning how to play the drums. I've been playing drums since I was about 8 years old, but at that point I was about 10, somewhere in there, and I was really trying to get better at it and learn how to play. Well, at the same time, there were 2 or 3 other young boys about the same age who saw me up on stage playing, and they decided they wanted to learn how to play. Well, David Turner, he had this wonderful idea, and it was, I don't know if I can necessarily help any of you young men learn how to play the drums, but why don't you learn how to play the tambourine with me, and then when you guys are taking turns playing the drums, whoever's not playing the drums can play the tambourine. That sounded great to him, but as a drummer, it was a nightmare because I was the only one that knew what I was doing, right? And I didn't really know what I was doing. I just knew how to keep a beat. Well, these other 3 boys, they didn't know how to keep a beat yet. They were just learning to play. And so they'd have these tambourines and they would be all around that rhythm and never actually hit it. I mean, they were just everywhere, just all over the place. And I'm trying to listen to this piano player who is also all over that rhythm as well. And I'm trying to figure out how to keep all of us in the same place. And it was the most annoying, most distracting, most terrible sound you can imagine. Just imagine 3 young boys full of energy and nothing else to do, all having a tambourine, just waving the mess out of those things. I hate tambourines. It made my life so difficult as a young drummer. That's my first reason why I hate tambourines. Second reason why I hate tambourines has to do when I was an adult. So I was an adult. I don't want to tell you where it was. If you were there, you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about because you were there. At that point, I was a worship leader, and the team I had, at that point, I had a choir. I had a full praise team behind me and a full band, all this stuff, and we had been practicing for a while to go sing at this very special service that a bunch of churches were coming together to be part of. It was this wonderful thing, and it was the first time I'd been part of something like that before. We've been practicing, and we were really excited about what was going on. We've been practicing for a long time. We wanted to really just lead worship well, right? Well, right as we were getting ready to start, this lady comes up, and we didn't know her. She was from one of the other churches. She comes up and sits on the front left-hand side. If I'm looking from the stage, she's on the right-hand side, and she's right there, and I can still see her right now. And as soon as we start playing, she pulls out a tambourine, almost as if she is unsheathing her sword, right? I don't know. Probably I wasn't paying attention, so she probably had it with her. But in my mind, I remember her just kind of pulling that thing out, and she starts wailing on that thing, and she's right beside where our drummer is. And she can't find that beat either. And that poor drummer, we hadn't prepared for that, and he's already nervous. And so he starts getting off on his rhythm, and I'm looking at him. I mean, we're singing, hundreds of people in front of us. We're singing, and I'm looking over at my drummer, and he's just sweating. He's trying, but he's kind of doing this number, and I see what the problem is. And then because he's getting off, the whole band is getting off. And because they're getting messed up, the praise team is getting off, and the team, now the choir is getting off. And it's a train wreck. And we've been practicing for a long time. And they're all looking at me as we're finishing up the last song, and it was brutal. It was brutal. You could tell in the audience, almost nobody's clapping with us. It's bad. It's that kind of thing we all just want to go back home, right? And as we're clapping, I'm looking around at I turn around and look at my whole team, and they have this look on their face. And I don't know, their look might have been, Pastor, it's going to be okay. But what I saw was, Pastor, we're going to kill you if you don't do something about that lady. And so One of my most embarrassing leadership moments ever is I look at that lady and I have my microphone and I said, ma'am, I am so excited you're here and I'm so thankful for your worship. This is in front of everybody. I'm so thankful for your worship. Right now, an usher is going to come and collect that tambourine and we're going to give that back to you as soon as our service is over with. Thank you so much. It's so good to have all of you here. Everybody look at your neighbor. You just kind of, you know what I mean? Just kind of distracted everybody. And sure enough, thankfully, there was one brave usher, because I didn't plan this, so one brave usher goes over there and she hands him the tambourine and he goes on back and we finished leading worship. And when it was over with, he comes up to me and he hands me that tambourine and he said, you gonna fix this? Because I was so afraid I just embarrassed this poor lady. I'd been embarrassed. And so I was just, I would have rather done anything than go back up to that lady. I knew I'd embarrassed her. And so I go back up to her and I have no idea what I'm going to say. So I go up to her and said, ma'am, I am so sorry. I hope I didn't embarrass you. I'm sure I did. And I want to apologize to you. It was our fault. We don't have someone that plays the tambourine at our church. Our drummer didn't know what to do with that. And the way you were playing was getting him off. And it was on us. But I want to tell you, I'm so sorry. And she looked at me with the biggest smile on her face. And she said, honey, don't you worry about it. They won't let me play at my church either. Oh, man. And so I don't like tambourines. It's because they continually put me in horrible places. Now, I have heard people play them well, just not often. So if you ever wanted to know why I don't like tambourines, it's because I have wounds because of my tambourine history, all right? All right, I hope you enjoy story time. Let me know down in the comments below, do you like tambourines or not? If so, why? If not, praise the Lord. I'll see you next time.